target detected. Another agent is now in your group. Detected. Agent incapacitated.
Damn it, they're getting back up! Fuckers a bitch!
Agent down.
Hello everyone and welcome to another build video. For today's video I want to show you the darkness build. Even though you see the regulus on this build is actually made for the darkness. So I'm going to explain to you piece by piece how we can make this build reliable for the darkness, especially for the players that want to use this sniper rifle. I used a standard template, probably like a template that it's used for all PVE DPS builds, but I made it tweak it here and there, so you can use this one, the darkness, as well. Again, I choose the regulars for the side, for the secondary, or I probably say the first weapon, because I wanted to have a better combination for the darkness, especially because the darkness you're going to use medium to long range. You can use the revenues for close to medium ranges. So let's go over into the build. First of all, I choose the Sharpshooter because one, the stability, second, the headshot damage, and third, the flashbang, which is going to be used very well in combination with the darkness. Now for those who don't own the revenues, just a quick pointer, this is a drop at the end of the Operation Iron Horse. You can get it by gathering all 5 keys within the Operation Iron Horse in order to get the revenues, and yeah, this is where you drop. For the weapon itself, for those for you guys that don't have it, one trigger pull fire both barrels at once. When fire from the right shoulder hits an offensive primers, and defensive primers when fire from the left shoulder. Hits from one shoulder will detonate all other opposite shoulders primers when presented. When detonated, each offensive primer deals 100% weapon damage, while each defensive primer grants 4 bonus armor and 10% amplified damage to armor plates for 5 seconds. Primer effectiveness is double at 10 stacks. Just to summarize it real quick, so if I'm fired from this here, let me change the difficulty of the target. So you can see here there is a mark on the target. So the more I shoot, the more marks they will get. Once you get at full, you can do this, you don't have to get at full, but once you get it at full, firing from the right shoulder, because this is the right shoulder, this is the left shoulder. When you detonate, it will, when you fire from this shoulder, it will detonate. And starting stacks from here, once you fire, you will detonate. So the stacks from the right shoulder, when you detonate it from the left one, is going to do bonus damage, and when you start from the left shoulder, if you detonate it, it's going to give you bonus armor. You can see here on my armor bar. So that's basically a shorter explanation for this one. But the bonuses, it says right here, depending. So if you offensive primer deals 100% weapon damage. So if you get stacks from the right shoulder, if you switch to the left shoulder, you will detonate and you get 100% weapon damage, while each defensive primer, so starting from the left shoulder, you will get the bonus armor as you saw, and 10% amplified damage to armor plates. Now this is for the revenues. Now let's go over to the darkness. So the darkness itself does as the perfect eyeless, which deals 25% weapon damage to blinded enemies. After 3 kills, applies blind to the next enemy you hit. So this one, I made it specifically, so what's the point of it? So you get the flashbang from the Sharpshooter, as I said, and I also use the Firefly. So that will have an increased damage, because you'll do a lot of flashbang. Now you have to take in consideration, just because you're using this, you're going to blind a lot of NPCs. So that will mean that even though this is a full DPS weapon build, you're going to have a lot of CC. So try to take in consideration, even though you say, yeah, the darkness is not that good, but the bonuses that you get from flashbanging or using the Firefly, you can do a lot of CC without having a skill build. So in my opinion, this is a good combination. Now let's go over the darkness. So I have here marksman rifle with headshot damage and critical hit damage. The mods is headshot damage with 20 plus stability. You can use here the 20 plus rounds, but I choose the stability in order to make sure that I hit the target what I want, especially because I'm focusing on the critical hit damage, and if I'm hitting headshot damage with critical hit damage, it will do a lot of damage. So that's why I choose this combination. But again, if you want, you can go with the 20 plus rounds. For the underbarrel, I choose the laser pointer for 5% critical hit chance, and for the muzzle brake, I choose 5% critical hit chance as well. Now for the sidearm, I'm choosing this one because it has a flashlight. That's basically it. Again, I'm not using so much the sidearm in the game, in this game. Now let's go over the mask. So I have here the mask, the Seska, that gave me 5% critical hit chance with all reds, as you can see. The chest piece is actually the Providence, because I have the Providence to get the headshot, the critical hit chance, and critical hit damage. All reds, as you can see right here. Perfect godlike roll. This one I need like a better mod with unbreakable, obviously because this is a PVE build. Grupo Sombra for the holster to give me that 50% critical hit damage. Fox prayers, best in slot in my opinion for rifle builds, because this is not just the darkness build, but also you can use the revenues as well. If you don't have the revenues, you can go for a classic M1A or whatever you want. For the gloves, I have the third part of the Providence. No, sorry, the second part, and the third part is the backpack. The backpack, as you can see, 12 all reds, critical hit damage with vigilance, obviously because you're going to stay in the back, shooting with both rifles, with both rifle and assault and sniper rifle. You're not going to get too close to the enemies. So in my opinion, that's the best talent you can use. If you don't have the vigilance, other options is the companion or composure. Those ones have less damage, but for the companion you need the fixed drone active in order to get the bonus, or if a friendly player, party member stays close to you, you will have composure, no? Companion, sorry. Composure, you get 50% weapon damage if you stay in cover. This one has 25% damage when not hit. Taking damage will disable this buff. So if you don't like the vigilance because of this criteria alone, you can switch it to either composure or companion. Composure, you have to stay in cover a lot. So there's another situation where you can use here the sorry, let me go back because I forgot the name. Sawyer's knee pads. Sawyer's knee pads, if you're staying a lot in cover, you don't move too much. This one actually is better than the fox prayers, but this has a minus, because if you're staying so it says increases total weapon damage by 3% each second you are not moving, stacks up to 10 until you start moving. All stacks lost after 10 seconds, all stacks lost 10 seconds after moving. So basically, if you don't move and you get max stacks on the Sawyer's knee pads, you'll do more damage than the fox prayer. But if you're not a player that likes to stay in cover too much, you can use the fox prayer. So this is another combination that you can do for this build. Now going back, skills are pretty easy. Revive Hive, because again it's a PvE build, and the Firefly because you will get you're going to do blind a lot. So for this one, the mods I choose 9.9 speed, so close to a godlike. Have plus 7.5 blind effect duration. So that means that the targets are going to stay blinded for a longer period of time, and you will deal more damage to them. And also plus 1 marks targets. So you, instead of targeting 3, you're going to target 4. Can't remember if this one has plus 2. Can't remember for sure. But if you have the plus 2, you can blind 5 targets at the same time. But if you have this one on cooldown, because again this is not skill build, so the cooldown is actually quite higher for Firefly, you can use the flashbang and to actually count do flashbang to a target. Then you can use the what's it called, the Firefly after the cooldown is being resetted, and you can do a combination between the flashbang and the Firefly, and you'll be doing a lot of CC. So that's pretty much it for the build. The stats alone speaks 60% critical hit chance and 200% critical hit damage. So just from the gameplay that you saw in the beginning, this is a reliable build. This is not so the darkness is reliable, not necessarily the best marksman rifle in the game, but you can use this in this combination in order to make this build reliable, and this weapon also itself for the players that want to use the darkness. In my opinion, I wanted to do a build for a long time. I made it. This is how it looks. This is probably like the best case scenario how you can use the darkness. Try different situations where you can use this one, but I'll probably say like in order to do damage, because the darkness, in my opinion, it's a weapon that needs to do damage. it's probably like the best situations how you can make a build for this weapon. But in my opinion, yeah, use it, tested it. I tested it on a lot of missions, also on the raids. So not necessarily too much on the raids because I didn't have time. But I actually tested on Operation Iron Horse and Dark Hours once at least for both of them. So I can say it easily, it's a good weapon. But for all other PvE content, especially for the legendary missions, because you do a lot of blind for legendary mission, this is probably like a good build and a good weapon, because you will do a lot of CC, and it's important to have CC in a legendary mission. So if you want something, you can use this build for for legendary missions. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the build. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new to see more The Division 2 content like this, and until next time, have a good one.